श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणम थर्ड उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम 46th सर्ग राजा विदुरथ going for the yuddha. The topic we are studying. Before that, a beautiful jnanam tattva jnanam is given for us, giving a chance and test to us whether we can catch it or not. We have thoroughly studied that topic. The topic is I am the self, my chitta. Whatever sankalpa I do it with it, I the self alone bless it with this, with that. Thus I become that. So whether you keep a God outside idol or to your own self inside, whatever sankalpa you do, you become that. Not knowing this so far, we were doing sankalpas which were keeping us as a jiva only always. Now do the sankalpa for the ultimate. You will see that that reality will guide you in that direction to realize the ultimate. Okay, in this 46th Sarga, around some 12, 13, 14 mantras we saw. Let us start from 11th one. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah Yairime Guruvihi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah Vyakhyatah Sarva Vedantah Satchastraha Tanityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varanane. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Acharyebhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Vashishthadi Gurubhyo Namaha Sankalpaha Tesham Sarvesham Kripanugrahena Upanishad Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayanokta Brahmatmaiki Bodhena Asmin Kshane Eva Moksha Kaivalya Praptyartham Sanatan Dharmasya Vishwavyapti Vishwa Adhyatmika Pragatyartham Dharma Samsthapakanam Nitya Nirantara Digvijayartham Sri Rama Mandiravat Shiva Krishnadi Mandiradinam Punravapti तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्माद् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण श्रुति मोक्ष प्रकरण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः. ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः. ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति शेखरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाधारमपास्तमायमभयं विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्धितीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यस्संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्रपरब्रह्मणे नमः। वसिष्ठादिऋषिभ्यो नमः। योगवासिष्ठमहारामायणशास्त्रं तृतीय उत्पत्तिप्रकरणं लीलोपाख्याने विदुरथ युद्धाय निर्गमनं नाम षट्चत्वारिंशः सर्गः। श्रीवसिष्ठ उवाच. So, few mantras we covered. This is the Yuddha Bhumi Varnana Ratri and Dina Samaya. Just for information sake only. Learning is only one till we get to into the Atmanubhava Sthiti. Till that time, as a Jiva for us, either inside Antaha or outside Bahihi, Yuddha will always be there. We will continuously fight with our own uncontrolled mind, its own desires, our own diluted intellect, its ignorances, our own senses and their powerful, what do you call them, demands, our body and its extreme lethargies. Continuously we have to fight with. And to get things for this Sharira, the outer fight, the fighting to earn money, the fighting to survive, the fighting to sustain when others are trying to crush us down, the fighting with the continuous Prakriti, outer temptations. These yuddhas will go on going. If you want to avoid the yuddha, only one way is Atma Prapti. And in the outer yuddha, always, very temporarily there will be Vijaya, but continuously there is Parajaya only. Very rarely there is a Vijaya. We'll always be losing in between losses, some success to give as if some consolation to us. These are the bitter truths. The one who realizes them inevitably will become spiritual seeker. Think about it. Some yuddhas in the outer world, you have to play, you know that you will lose only. Knowingly that we will have to fight the yuddha of living itself is a Bhayankara yuddha in which we know that nothing permanent. So to avoid all that, only way is seek the yuddha rahita because dvaita rahita atmasthiti, chidakasha sthiti. Okay, now in that yuddha, when Raja Viduratha left for it, he gave all instructions to them. He was listening also from them, the arraying of their army to combat the enemy, etc. Matta Sainika Nirmuktair Vyaptam Kalakalarava. Whole sound is Vyapta, spread with Kalakalarava, the sound made by the Matta Sainya, the Sainyas who are intoxicant to do that Yuddha. Kinkani Jala Nirdvanair Heti Sangatta Ghantitai. So the Heti Sanghatta, the big, big weapons of Khadgas, dashing with each other, making that sound. Dhanuhu chata chata shabdai. So Dhanush Tankara Shabda, chata chata sound it is making. Sharas Sitkara Gayanai. The arrow is doing the song of Sitkara when it is being shot from the bow by the soldiers. See, 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 they are just going on. Paraspara Anga Nishpishta, Kavacha Ogha Jhana Jhanai. The Kavachas making Jhana Jhana sound worn by these warriors rubbed to each other. In that rush, you can see the old movies where the Sainya attacking each other. Even the same Sainya पास पास दौड़ रहे हैं तो अपने कवचों का रगड़ने से that a झण झण sound is. And when they meet the enemy, they also while fighting, that kavacha dashing with each other. Jwalad Agni Tanat Karai. Ferocious fire there, burning, that is making Tanatkara sound. Artimat Krandanaravahi. Very arti, dukkha. People are making krandana. Some before the yuddha started, some during yuddha, Narayana, when they are hit by arrows with pain. In this way, the akrandana is going on there. Paraspara bhata hwanair. The bhata are inviting each other. Aja mere se lad. Let us fight and see who will remain. So that lalkar teve. The bhata paraspara. Then bandi vikshubdha rodanai. The bandhijana are rudita in the vikshobha. Some of them were captured by and then hands, legs and tied down. And not to give them any chance, how with the iron chains, etc., they are tied down. That pain of getting chained, hands and legs, only they know it, those who have. And with their hands, legs tied down, put in the jail behind the bars. That thing, for an animal also, it is so painful. And a human being who seeks eternal freedom, if his freedom of body movement also is arrested, the amount of pain, dukkha is inexplicable. Then Shila Ghani Kruta Ashesha Brahmanda Kuhara Dvani. So whole Brahmanda became a cave. And this Dhani that is of this Yuddha has become Ghani Bhuta, solidified. Hastagrahyo Abhavat, as if you can catch that sound. Bhimaha Dashasha Kunja Purakaha. Feeling all the 10 directions, Asha Kunja Dasha, the sound was so solidly heard as if you can catch it with the hand. Like when during the rain season, just at the time of beginning, monsoons, when the clouds hit with each other, the thunder of sound, dum dum dum, happens, when you are seated in your house, let us say windows, doors open, that sound comes as if somebody outside making it. Whereas it is some 10 kilometers or 8 kilometers away, whatever. What यही हो रहा है ऐसा लगता है इसी तरह that sound is so solidified as if that you can catch it with the hand. Atishayukti said. So that much is the sound, that's the meaning. Then Atha Udapadat Aditya Pathapi Vararodhakam Rajo Nibhena Bhupitham Ambaroddayanonmukham. It's a good explanation, example. That the dhuli, the dust, storm is rising, appearing as if the whole earth itself is rising above in the sky, as if wanting to stop the movement of the sun. तो भगवान सूर्य के रास्ते में रुकावट के लिए भूमि ही ऊपर उठ रही है, ऐसा लग रहा था. द धूली, द डस्ट, that it is rising in the yuddha. What is rising is dust, but it appears entire earth is moving. And it is moving some distance above. But it appears it has reached to the path of sun, है ना, सूर्य मार्ग, उसको रोकने के लिए ऐसा दिख रहा था. मतलब उतना ऊंचा, उतना घना धूल, such a high height, dense dust is what is to be understood. Then Rajo Nibhena Bhupitam Ambaroddayana Unmukam. See, Ambara Akasha Uddayana, wanting to fly Unmukam in that direction, is Bhumi. Is it really Bhumi? No, Rajo Nibhena. The dust was. For what? Atha Udapadad Aditya Patha Pivara Rodakam. Wanting to stop the Aditya in his path. भगवान सूर्य के गति को रोकने के लिए पृथ्वी ऊपर उड़ रही है, ऐसा दिख रहा था. देन गर्भवासमिवापन्नम तेनासीत तन्महापुरम. Whole pura was now appearing to be as if garbhavas. Garbhavasa means when the child is in the garbha, to the mother who is carrying also there is continuous awareness, fear, pain, and a sense of insecurity. खुद को या चाइल्ड को कुछ होता करके, to the child inside also, in the garbhavasa, till he comes out, always there is a difficulty. In that small place, he is cocooned there, but gets settled. That's why when he comes out, he cries. So it's like to the mother and child, garbhavasa dukkha. This whole village or kingdom is like that. To the Raja also, who is carrying the Praja, to the Praja also carried. It was Garbhavasamiva Apannam Tena Asitat Mahapuram Mudattam Yavanena Iva Ganatam Ayayu Tamaha. The entire darkness appearing as if the youthhood is filled with delusion as well as ignorance. Their ignorance means not a complete picture of what the life is meant for. Delusion is anything he wants to do, but nobody should stop him. In that way was the darkness compared with the youth, who is full of ignorance as well as delusion. So Mudattam Yavanena Iva. Yavanena, the Yavastha mein bandha Muda or Tamaha. It means the darkness is so much that blocking everybody's vision. The Yavanatva's Mudatva is every Yodha running to fight with. The Tamaha aspect of the darkness is that they don't know where to go, who are our side people, who are enemy, उस अंधकार में कैसा दिखता है. That's how the youth in his youth age, how he is dark in his ignorance and deluded in his activity. That's taken as example to say or compare that night in that Nagara. Then prayayuhu kwapi deepaughaah divasenev tarakaah ayayurbalam alola naisha bhuta paramparaah. See, prayayuhu kwapi deepa hoga. All the lamps that were lit gone somewhere. बुझ गए, तेल खत्म हुआ या हवा के झोंकों से या वेराइटी ऑफ आयुधों का उसका लगने से. All the deepas have gone. So divasenaiva tarakaah, like as the daytime comes, the tarakas become lupta, unseen. So too, all the lamps got gone somewhere as if bujh gaye. Then seeing that when the lights get off, night time, those nighttime moving nishacharas come. The bhuta rakshasa preta. So ayayur balam alola naisha bhuta parampara. Nisha mein घूमने वाले all the bhuta parampara has come. Either it is the bhuta preta literally, or this shatru saina itself is like the nishacha. So that shatru raja sindhu's sainya might be that sainya who are well trained in fighting the wars at night time. है ना, हर एक लोग आर्मी में शिक्षण दिया जाता है, हाउ टू फाइट द वॉर ऑन द लैंड और इन द स्पेस थ्रू द एयरक्राफ्ट्स और नेवल फाइटिंग्स. सो टू पहाड़ों में लड़ना है, जंगलों में लड़ना है, ऐसा सिखाया जाता है. बारिश के टाइम कैसे लड़ना है, इसी तरह दिन में, रात में, डिफरेंट इट इज. So they might be trained in fighting the wars at night. They become Vijrumbhita when the lights got off. Then Dadrushustan Mahayuddham. द्वे लीले सा कुमारिका प्रस्फुटत हृदयेन इव देवी दत्त महादृश तत् महायुद्धम ददृश. The terrible war was seen. By whom? Dve लीले, both the leelas. You know, the Purva Leela, the Uttara Leela, the Prabuddha Leela, and the Leela who is local Leela. Leela from the other Brahmanda, wife of Raja Padma, and Leela of this Brahmanda, wife of Raja Viduratha. Viduratha is a Jiva. His body is staying there, dead. Here already he lived 70 years, 70 years. That's what we have said. So both the Leelas. So to Sa Kumarika, the daughter of Padma, sorry, this Vidurat, whom he asked, Mother Saraswati, along with me, my daughter also should go. And wife asked, I will also go. So the wife is Leela, daughter's name not yet said, but she was also watching that Yuddha. Prasputat Hrutayena, with the hearts bewildered or broken or disturbed, withered. Because Yuddha happening, Sainyas will die. Even one dies, there's a pain. Because our Sainya. And the Nishachara Yodhas of the enemies are so powerful. So they are seeing. How could they see? In that night time, the Yuddha, Devi Datta Mahadrusha. Devi Saraswati gave them Mahadrushti, the ability to see. One Leela is already in Ativahika Sthiti, she is in the Siddha Sthiti. The other Leela and the daughter are blessed by Saraswati Mata with Divya Chakshu to see. Like Sanjaya could see as blessed by Lord Vyasa. Vyasa gave to Dhritarashtra, Aankh deta hu temporarily, dekh. He says, I don't want to. Do you want to listen? Yeah, that's okay. Sanjaya, I am giving you. Okay, Lord. So Vyasa prasadat shrutavan etad guhyamaham param. I could listen and see with Vyasa Krupa. Sanjaya says in Gita, here also, Mother Saraswati's Krupa, they could see. Then what? Prashemuratha hetishu prodhyat katakata ravaha ekarnavapayah purair valava iva vahnayah. So, Prashemu atha hetishu prodhyat katakata ravaha. So, as the Raja entered, announcement is made with his all Balashalins. Then Raja, सिंधुज और मे बी द उसी समय का चांस को उपयोग करने के लिए some attackers, robbers, they might have come. Or these people. There, खड्ग युद्ध शब्द became शांता प्रशेमु. कुछ भाग गए होंगे, कुछ रुक गए होंगे, कुछ डर गए होंगे. Seeing the Raja Viduratha entering, the Sainyas sound reduced just like the huge Badabanala volcano amidst in the center of the ocean. When the oceanic waves lash come up, then they fall on that Badavanala, they quench that fire. In the same way, the Raja's arrival was like that. Then Ekarnava Paya Purair Valavaiva Vahnaya. समुद्र एक हो रहा है, बीच में जो ज्वालामुखी है, समुद्र का जल उसको जैसा शांत करता है उस तरह. शनै ही सेनाम समाकर्षण न अज्ञायत बलांतर. So he was ordering his Sainya. They were moving. Then when they were moving, they were mixed up with the Shatru Sainya. And it is pitch dark night. So na ajñāyata balantara. For some time this Raja lost sight of the difference between his Sainya and the other Sainya. Okay. Then like the Meru Parvata during the Maha with its Pankhudi flies and enters into this Pradaya Jaladi, same way this Raja, as if जो होगा देखा जाएगा in that view, entered into the Sainya. Both are mixed up. रात का टाइम है. So Vivesha Paksha Pra Uddinaha Meru Rekam Iva Arnava. With the wings, the Meru was flying and entered into the Arnava, unknown. Because हर जगह प्रलय समुद्र ही है. उड़ तो गया लेकिन जाए कहाँ? कहीं ना तो ही जाना है. गए तो he went into samudra only. Same way this Raja entered into that the Yodha Samudra, where both are mixed up. In the sense, being a Raja, he should have people around him trying to defend him, protect him. है कि नहीं? कुछ लोग अपॉइंटेड होते हैं एज गार्ड्स आर पायलट्स और सिक्योरिटी गार्ड उनका रक्षक. नो ही मिस्ड देम, ही इज ऑल अलोन. नो, एज इफ ऑल अलोन मीन्स विदाउट देम इन दैट युद्ध. है ना? हो जाता है कभी. नेक्स्ट, अथोदबोध गुणध्वानम चटच्छडडिति स्फुटम रचित अंशुमयाम्भोदाः चेरुः परपरंपराः. So, atha udabhut gunadhvanam, sound of the bows. Guna means the रस्सी which is tied down to the bows. वो खींच करना उसका tightness देखकर, then they put it, and even after the bow arrow is shot, that thread of the bow in its vibration makes that sound, chata chata sound that was coming, because it is not one or two yodhas with one or two bow and arrow, hundreds and thousands. Then their sound you can guess one after the other. Then Rachita Amshumaya Ambodaha Cheruhu Paramparaha. So, all like Amshumaya, like the Kiranas only, the arrows were as shot from that bows are seeing on the sky like the clouds only. So many arrows. Then Yayuhu Ambaramasritya Nana Heti Vihangamaha. So many Heti Ayudhas, the sharp arrows as well as the other sharp, bigger weapons thrown with the hands, even the Khadga Adi, when they were fighting the Yodhas, with each one's beating, when they were flying in the sky, all these Heti, Bana, Ayudha were looking like the Vihangama, the birds. Then Prasasrur alam attasu malinaha shastra deeptayaha. So Prasasrur alam mattasu malinaha shastra deeptayaha. So the deepta kanti of the astra shastra was malini kruta. That means they were with the blood. So in that yuddha, unrighteously fighting the war, their arrows hitting the opponents, appearing as if lost their kanti, became malina. So it's a very poetic way of saying that those who are in a dharmic way fighting the war, the weapons used by them having the blood stains of the enemies or the other people, appearing to be malina and lost the kanti. That's a peculiar word. Huh? They lost kanti because they are used for the wrong purpose. Like when I abuse someone, immediately the Vani's kanti goes away. Because the Vani is not for abusing someone, but to love, to respect. Misuse kiya kanti gayo. Everywhere you can see, even our looks. Looks when they are with kindness, compassion, purity, that divinity is different. Oh, that thing. The same eyes when you look with eye of jealousy, eye of anger, eye of vengeance. That time the eyes kanti goes away. That will not have that purity or that power in it. So to here the Ayudhas, some of them lost their Dipti and became Malina by being misused because of their misuse. मलिन है ना, मलिन हो जाता. Anywhere, any examples, plenty. Whatever the abilities, resources that are given to us, even the divine things, when they are used, it becomes malina, like a temple. Very honestly, pujaris are doing upasana, the temple committee is doing all adhyatmika activities, serving the society. in spiritual way. That mandira's deepti, kanti will be so different, pure. We have seen so. And some temple, the moment we enter, we know it. Here, the committee's only job is to pocket the money. The pujari also, copying them with whatever his justifications, does puja for the money more than sincerely. ऐसा दिखेगा मलिन a hotel also when you enter, or they are serving or they are cheating, पता चल. Even a food item when it comes to you, you can see it is having that deepti because of the maker and supplier's goodwill, or it has got the kanti lost and malina because in that some adulteration, some selfishness is there. ये तो थोड़ा सूक्ष्म दृष्टि है, जो देख सकते हैं वही देख सकते, isn't it? मलिनता, दीप्ति गॉन, है ना? See that the other religions. Do your worships, just live your life nobly, no? Like how many religions separated from Hinduism. है ना? The Buddhas, the Jainas, all of them अपने हैं, but अपना काम कर लेते हो. They don't do anything against Sanatan Dharma. So they have their own deepti. But the other two Rakshasa religions, how much hatred and our curse they invoke. We continuously curse them. We hate them. Their deepti, their thing is gone. Malina it is. उनको देखते ही मन लगता है कि यार ये है क्यों इस जगत में, बिकॉज ऑफ देयर एट्रोसिटीज, यू नो, राक्षसत्व. Do we see them with respect? We can't. When you are destroying my temples and all, how can I? पागल थोड़ी हूं मैं. You understand that? In any way, many a government officer, the whole office itself, when it is serving the people, the kanti of that office is different. But if the पूरे सब लोग रिश्वतखोर है मानो, there is no दीप्ति there. लोग डरते हैं, है ना? हॉस्पिटल्स ऑल्सो, वेदर बिग कॉर्पोरेट हॉस्पिटल्स हो या छोटे गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स हो. हाँ, that's why to government hospitals the decent guys don't go. कुछ और उचक के गुंडे टाइप होते, पेशेंट वही जाके वो डॉक्टर नर्स को एक डंडा मार के काम कराते. अच्छा है वो टिट फॉर टैट, अब क्या करें. They are there, that is their quality, what to do. Just what we see in the world. So here the Astra Shastra lost there. Deepti became Malina. Next, Jajwalahu Shastra Sanghatta Jalana Ulmuka Agnivat. Ulmuka Agni, half burned wooden piece or anything charcoal, called as Ulmukha. The Shastras takrake with each other, the fire coming, creating like making them look like Ulmukha. Jagarjuhu Sharadhara Oghaha. Then Sharadhara Oga, the flow of the arrows was like the clouds making the cloud like Garjana, you know, the roaring or thunderous sound of the clouds. Then Swarshanto Veeravaridaha, even the Veeravari means the Veeras are the clouds. They are raining the arrows. Those arrows are making the Garjana like the clouds. Comparison. We're just discussing this just to see the comparisons, the poetries, you know, the effort of the saints like Valmiki ji while writing these texts to communicate the physical scenery there, the psychology of the people there. It's a big art what they have written. So we can worthy it is to struggle to understand what they said, what they meant. Vivishuhu krakachat kuraha virangeshu cha hetayaha. So hetayaha kruraha, the terrible variety of weapons, including the arrows, etc., are entering into the anga, the bodies of the Veeras. Then, Setu Petuhu Patapataravam Heti Nishmishtayo Ambare. Even the Akash may be Patapata Shabda happening because of the Heti, the Khatgas that are hit and they are going in. है ना, लड़ते हुए एक का खड़ग ऊपर उड़ गया, या इसने उसको भोग दी तो वो खड्ग को ऊपर फेंक के गिर गया नीचे नीचे. Like that, continuously the Khatgas are rising up, pata pata sound they are making, and all the Heti, etc., entering into the Sharira of the Veeras, this side and that side. Terrible it is seen. छोटा सुई लगता है तो इतना पेन होता है. बिग बिग तलवार को भोंक रहे यूज कर देन जगमुह शमम तमाम स्याशु शस्त्र का नल दीपकैः बभूवरखिलासेन नवनाराचरोमशाः. So tamamsi shamam jagmu. All the darknesses got reduced. Why? Shastra ka anala deepakai. The astra shastras when are hitting, the fire is coming. Because of fire, the darkness is removed. Then very terrible scene it is. Akhila senaha bhavohu. All the Sainya have become Nava Romashaha. Became with new Romavali in their body. And what is the Romavali? The number of arrows pierced into this body. Iskin? To explain how many arrows hitting each of the Sainya, the Romavali example is given. And piercing in that standing. This is Bhagavan Bhishma. The arrow bed, whole body was full of arrows. Looking like Romavali only. Here also that. Babhuvu Akhilaha Senaha Nava Naracha Romashaha. They have the Romashas of Naracha, Nava, newly grown body, hair on the body. They are the arrows shot by the enemy. Lagi ja rahe, lagi ja. Even when Sri Hanumanji was in Lanka for the Yuddha with Rakshasa, all of them, the Sainya, the Mahasena, Nayakas, Mantriputras, Akshakumara, sent by Ravana, very ferocious Yodhas, when they were shooting arrows on Hanumanji, it was a description it in Valmiki Ramayana. You saw 10 बाण इधर लगे, 6 बाण इधर लगे, इधर 20 बाण, इधर 20, इधर 50 बाण लगे घुटनों पे, पांव पे हनुमान जी के. Because not one, two, so many Yodhas and their Sainya. Hanuman ji is all alone. If there are 10 people, their attention would have been on 10. Only one Hanuman. So everybody's attention is on only one Hanuman. So they are shooting arrows also to him only. And he was warding them off with trees and with mountains with his fifth movement. Yet, so many arrows means kuch to lagte hai na. The blood shedding happening, blood in the Hanumanji Sharira was so terrible description. वो देखकर भी दुख होता है कि भगवान राम जी के सेवा के लिए हनुमान जी ना कितना उन्होंने झेला दुख को, है ना. गेटिंग देयर. एंड वी हिंदूज टुडे बेवकूफ बुजदिल मरने के लिए डरते हैं कि वी विल बी डाइंग करके. none of us are having any fear, any that ferociousness or courage to fight with the enemies, the Rakshasas. If at all one कौम है पूरे दुनिया में जो कमजोर बुजदिल है, सेल्फिश है, भोगी है, एंड our fear of death is only Hindus now. But they want to enjoy bhoga, live long. They don't want to fight and sacrifice themselves. At the time of freedom, some were there, luckily. That's how we got it. अब तो कहाँ है? So when you have to fight yuddha, ready to die also. Next, उत्तस्थुर्यमयात्रायाम कबंधन डबंगतयः. So भगवान यम जी का यात्रा चल रहा है. Either to invite Yama or Yama Bhagavan is being taken in what you call procession. And when some great VIP procession happens, there will be people to dance. Who are the dancing people? Kabandha Natapanktaya. The so many Sainya whose heads are lost. Only the trunk part is there. They are the ones who are dancing in this Bhagavan Yama's procession. No, it's a poetic thing. I'm literal meaning I'm telling you, picturize it. ये यम यात्रा चल रहा है. उत्तस्तुर यम यात्रा means Yamaraj coming and taking all people, means so many are dying. In that procession of Yama taking the people, the trunks of the Sainya were dancing, Kabandha Natapanktaya. कबंध युद्ध हो रहा है, सर गिर रहा है कटके, और कबंधा मूविंग फॉर सम टाइम बिफोर इट फॉलिंग. They are also many. Not only that, Jagaruchair Ranodrekam. Okay. Pishacho Ranadarikaha. Then big Jai Jaykar sound or variety of sounds are made. And dances are also made by Pishacha Ranadarikaha, who always cherish seeing such युद्ध and such terrible deaths. वो तो उनके लिए एक पार्टी ही है. वो चिल्लाते हुए वो भी आकर नाच रहे. So in any profession, the men folk dance their own way. The women also dance to create that ambience. So the men folk are the Kavandhas, the women are the Pishacha, dancing in this Yamayatra, wherein Sainya of both sides are killed and Lord Yama is taking them. Like that. Then Udagurdanta Sanghatta Tankara Dantinam Balat Uhu Kshepana Pashana Mahanadyo Nabhastane. So Udagur Danta Sanghatta Tankara Dantinam Balat. So when the elephants were also clashing, their Danta, the tusks fighting with each other, that was also making a terrible tung 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 tankara sound. Also Kshepana Pashana, the Kshipanis, the missiles were used, and the missiles were throwing the stones, the machinery missiles. The stones were flying in the Akasha, appearing to be a Mahanadi in the Akasha. You know, when the Mahanadi is flowing, either big, big waves you see or in between boulders. Same way, the big, big boulders are like the river flying in the sky thrown by the Kshipanis, the missile launchers. So the missile launchers launching the missiles of stones, so many that they were appearing like a river flow only in the Akash. And this is not new to us. If you see nowadays the technology Mahima, so to the camera Mahima, there are thousands of scenes, special scenes, है ना, 1 in million, 1 in billion करके दिखाते. When a पहाड़ टूट कर नीचे आता है, it looks like a nadi or ocean only, all the patthar and pani. Same thing you imagine the sky, shot by the missile launching Kshepanis by the Shatru Sena mainly. So Kshepana Pashana Mahanadya Navastale Uhu. आकाश में क्षेपणी के नदियां बह रहे हैं. देन नेक्स्ट पेतु शवाह निवातास्त संशुष्क वन पर्णवत, है ना, संशुष्क वन. Summer time the trees are having no water, so getting dried. When the trees get dried without water, see the position of the leaves. Dried, little jharoka hava ka lagta hai, they fall. So like the dry leaves of the tree falling with the winds, are falling the dead bodies here, dying and falling the Sainikas. So Shavaha Nivatasta Samshushka Vana Parnavat Petuhu. You know, wind is blowing and the leaves are falling in that way, or the bodies are falling there. And mind you, at a macro level, every jiva there dying is by his own choice. Mm. Our choices are very narrow minded, narrow outlooked, not minded, short sighted or short visioned. What is the meaning of it? It is in that our chosen field, unknown to us, many are there, which are caused by the mutual prarabdha or samishti prarabdha or Ishvara Leela. I am just saying it, leaving it for your discretion to understand what is meant. है ना? So what example I can give? Two. So people join the army, many of them to defend definitely country. But they don't imagine that sometimes such catastrophic wars come up wherein you have to fight terribly and you are either caught by the enemies or anything can happen. That was never imagined. With that imagination, he doesn't join army or a medical field. Yeah, I'll serve. Good idea only. He joined as doctor, but never imagined that a pandemic, attacking the entire Earth globe comes, almost turning into endemic only. क्या हुआ देखो? How many doctors, how many of the medical people have collapsed to that? They came into this profession to serve, but they themselves were consumed. They never imagined it. That unknown means that. One thing we think and go, but plenty of many of the things unimaginable they come. Anywhere it is so. That's what I'm saying narrow. Like I marry, so wife or husband, they'll come and a very happy life I will live. इतना ही सोचकर उसके बाद then each individual's ego, selfishness, all of them come up. Then each one's health issues will trouble others too. And you never thought like that. You never thought I married, but within 10 years only, no husband or wife have got this disease. I never imagined. Nobody imagines that. That's how it happens. So do they get children, but spastic children or with some handicap. अरे ऐसे कैसा हुआ हमने सोचा ही नहीं था. Nobody thinks like that. So to everywhere, you get an IAS job. Civil से इतना मेहनत. But you never know while joining. Half blind होते हैं कि they will be kicked by the MLAs, MPs wherever they want. हाँ, if you don't please them, anywhere you will be transferred. लगता है उनको यार कहाँ के फंस गए हम, ऐसा सोचा ही नहीं था, होता है ऐसा ही. I am giving you explanation to the meaning of this sentence. कि what we expect and when we go there what happens is inexplicable. हर एक चीज में लाइफ में. So निर्ययुर लोहिता नद्यः रणाद्रेर मृतिवर्षिणः. See, the Rana is an Adri. The Yuddha Bhumi is like a mountain. As the rivers come down from the mountain, from this mountain of Yuddha Bhumi, the rivers of blood are flowing of this Sainya. So the Rana Bhumi itself is Adri. The blood is the Ha, the Jala that is coming down, rivers. Then Prashemuhu Pamsavo Raktaihi Raktaihistamam Sayudavahnivihi. है ना the entire युद्धैकध्यानतः शब्दाः भयानि मृतिनिश्चयैः. So prashemuhu pancha pramsava. All the dust that was rising has got settled. Why? Because of raktaihi. The blood so much liquid, hai na? So when the liquid comes, the dust settles. Because of the liquid of blood, all the dust got settled. Then tamamsi aidavahnibihi prashemu. The darkness gone because of the fire that's coming when the Ayudas are dashing each other. Then Yuddha Eka Dhyanataha. All are so focused on the Yuddha, therefore all the Shabdas Prashemu. Even the other sounds of shouting also gone. And they are very seriously fighting the Yuddha. Like cinema shuru hote hain. In those days, the fans of that hero इतने चिल्लाते हैं, पैसे फेंकते हैं, या कागज फाक. After the 20 minutes of hangama over, seriously watch the movie. Cricket also. When the players come and first ball, first power play, shouting. Uske baad, seriously the players play, the watchers watch. Here also, they were engaged in war so seriously that no shabda is heard other than the of ayudhas. Then another reason is bhayani mruti nishchayahi. None of them have any fear now. Those are fighting because they have decided that in this war we are going to anyway die. अब जिसको डर का निश्चय होता है वो डरेगा नहीं. वो नहीं जिसको मृत्यु का निश्चय होता है डर का नहीं. The one who decides that death is coming, he'll have no fear now. He'll accept it. These are all without fear fighting because the acceptance of death. है ना मृत्यु निश्चय. इसलिए भयानि प्रशेमुहु. They had no fears. In this way, अभवत केवलम युद्धम अपशब्दम असंभ्रमम. without excitements and sounds, a pure war, aiming at the enemies, mutually shooting, defending the enemy's arrows, protecting oneself, and re-attacking. These are the only things that are appearing. Then anakulambu vahabham khadgavichi satakritam. So, in that way, all these appearing, the khadgas, aidhas in the sky, like the clouds pushed by the arrow or the winds. Clouds, when they winds, when they push the cloud, they move. So too, the aidhas are moving in the sky like clouds before they hit the targets. Then khada rava samvatsara ogham. Samvatsara ogam. So shara ogha. The sound of the shara, the arrows was khada rava. Then taka takita rava sampadat bhushundi. The bhushundi named weapons, when they were एक दूसरे से टकरा रहे मीन्स भुशुंडी भुशुंडी फाइटिंग टक टक शब्द इट इज मेकिंग झण झण रव सम्मिलन महास्त्र some big mahastras when they used to fight with, they are making jhana jhana yuddha sound. Then timi timi vad ranamasad ustaram tatu. Totally the whole yuddha bhumi in its accumulation making timi 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 shabda. So this is how the yuddha was varnita. For us to have an idea, है ना, इस तरह लाखों करोड़ों युद्ध in this Prithvi or in this Bhumandala or in this Brahmanda, Ananta Koti Brahmandas, eternally, continuously going on. As you and I are talking here now, somewhere in some Brahmanda, some Yuddha is going on. हाँ, of any level. चल रहा है, चलता है. What to explain about? Big thing it is. इति आर्षे श्री वासिष्ठ महारामायणे वाल्मीकि उत्पत्ति प्रकरणे विदूरथ निर्गमन वर्णनम नाम षट्चत्वारिंशः सर्गः. Then tomorrow we'll see both rajas face each other. Sindhu Raja coming from Sindhu Desha to fight, and this is Viduratha Raja. दोनों भी फिर मंत्रास्त्र also they shoot at each other. All that is described in this Sarga 47. We'll study tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Mol Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So it has some 10-12 Sargas till this Leelopakhyanam is over, maybe 1 month, 2 months. We'll do it and continue with our Tulsi Ramayana also. Once Tulsi Ramayana is over, then we take up our Adi Shankara's Krutis, which stopped maybe 10 days back because of this Tulsi Ramayana start. In between, in the beginning for 10 days, we did all the 3 classes, but it was taking so much time, energy, taxing. You know, every day, na, फिर सुबह के भी 4 class. So I said energy was not there and heavy summer it is. So one class I reduced for the time being. है ना, 8-8 घंटे बोलना नहीं होता है. तट्टू तत्व शास्त्र ना. And I do it because now only कि 5 years के बाद इतना भी नहीं होगा. तो इसलिए the joy of sharing the knowledge of Shastras with my respectful you all. So morning we do Shvetashvatara, then we do Gita, then we do Mandukya, when we do Chandogya, Parayanam, then this one, the next one is Tulsi Rama. And in morning class and Telugu class, though, 7 activities we do. The Vedic chanting, the mantra dhyanam, the common sense thought, the sankalpa, the Upanishad mantra parayanam, so many things. Thank God, time, at least those few hours when we are here, spent in remembering the divine. बाकी टाइम जैसा भी हो, ये टाइम तो भगवत स्मरण में गुजरा है. अगर ये भी नहीं होता तो कहीं का नहीं रहते अपन. Same way, the other time also, may we have the sankalpa, effort, blessings and success. That the other times also we divinize, use for divine purpose. Now join in 3 minutes for Ramayana. 20 minutes we'll have, that's it.